Hello, thank you for joining the Tuesday edition of Journalist Hangout. I'm Ayodele Ozubakun. Today on the Hangout, NJC set up panel to probe 2 chief judges, 13 others as access to justice want a state of emergency declared in judiciary. Now, former First Lady Patient Jonathan alleges victimization by EFCC, and later in the program, NLC hinges rising crime rates to youth unemployment. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju, Dari Odufaokon, and possibly Wahid Bakare will be joining us. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. Glad to have you join us again. Now, the judiciary is the conscience of the nation. Unfortunately, its sense of morality has been lost in waves of corruption. Those who ought to sit as detached umpires in disputes and as guides to the fountain of justice are contaminated. For many, this is no longer a surprise. More than once, judges have been handed down judgment totally devoid of justice. Now, some have perfected its sale to the highest bidders, while those charged with thefts of billions of naira got punished with no more than just a slap on the wrist. Now, an ex-governor who was discharged by the Federal High Court in Nigeria was convicted and handed a 14-year jail term in the United Kingdom on the same evidence. But the National Judicial Council wants this trend reversed. On Monday, it constituted panels to investigate 2 chief judges and 13 high court judges over alleged involvement in judicial corruption. Last Friday, an advocacy group, Access to Justice, said a state of emergency should be declared in the Nigerian justice system. Would this address the challenges in the sector? Jide, when we're identifying, assessing 57 years of Nigeria, doing a kind of review, the independent edition yesterday, we mentioned the judiciary. Now, this access for justice, they're calling for a state of emergency in the judiciary. If you remember from the time of Justice Katsina Alu, Justice Ayo Salami, the drama that played out on the Sokoto judgment that wanted to be arrested, it was like a business as usual in the judiciary till the governorship petition gets to the Supreme Court level. It was like choosing judges in the tribunal to different tribunal was like a matter of for the highest bidder in Nigeria. It was so bad that you just pray that you get favorable judgment from the justice system because they are pliable. And we've seen even cases that we know that, glaring cases that there's nothing we can do about it, but the judiciary will come and tell us that this is that. And this arm of government is meant to be the last hope of the common man.
It's terrible, really, how things have degenerated in Nigeria, especially with the judiciary. Some shameless retired judges now work full-time as couriers for serving judges. They are the ones who take money,
bribes.
who take monies to judges. Litigants pass money through them to judges for a fee. So if you spend more than close to half of your years in the judiciary, and after returning, all you can do is take money from people, in some cases young enough to be your children, take money from them and be passing money to serving judges, then you should be thoroughly ashamed of yourself. Well, that is what is happening. And these dishonorable men simply have no shame. This has been on, including some retired Supreme Court judges. They now work as couriers. So it's such a sad thing that these days, apart from their legal fees, lawyers cause litigants to pay them extra money.
Because even some senior advocate of Nigeria
on the pretext.
they are involved too.
Yes, these are senior bribe givers of Nigeria, not senior advocates of Nigeria, senior bribe givers of Nigeria. So what they do is just ensure that the litigant pays extra. And of course, they will explain to the litigant that, look, we need to bribe judges. The unfortunate thing about the judges who work as couriers is that in some cases, they do not even give the money to the judges concerned. It's so bad. In some cases, the money doesn't even get to these guys. Because they are now fully entrenched in what they do, that, oh, because of the reputation that they are, oh, he used to be a Supreme Court judge, oh, he used to be a Federal High Court judge, oh, he used to be in the Court of Appeal. And they want favorable judgment from judges. They go through these guys and pass money. But in some cases, those judges don't even get the money, because there are some judges who are so straight, who can stand up to anyone. So how do you take money to such a person? The Katsina Alu who lied against Baba Ayosalami should have thought twice before walking up to him when he wanted to arrest that judgment. Because whether we like it or not, it has smeared the former CGN's image.
What is Katsina Alu today?
Yes, and even when his wife died in an accident, you know, a tree fell on the wife and died, many people were saying that, look, he served him right. This is what happens when you step out of line, when you do that which the people do not like. Ayosalami was eventually vindicated because the NJC sought to bring him back.
Mustafa under CGN Mustafa.
They sought to bring him back because they knew they had cleared him. The same NJC that told Jonathan to suspend him in the first place, within a short time, they cleared him. But Jonathan said, gentlemen,
what has changed?
What has changed? Tell me. Write officially to me that he is no longer guilty of perjury. And then they couldn't do that. So because everyone thinks that Jonathan is a dunderhead, oh, he's a mumu president, you can just change your mind at will. You told him to suspend the man. You lied against the Ilorin man. You told him to have him suspended. Then suddenly you said you recommended that he should be brought back. But you must show why he should be brought back. So let Nigerians know that you lied against him in the first place. And then Mustafa recalled into his cocoon.
It was difficult to write.
Because at the end of the day, it will now be clear that you gave that you were a witness of falsehood. You know, he was the only person.
Yes, that would have been.
This one made him his witness. The other one too made him his witness.
So he decided to support.
He decided to support
the person,
Justice Silvanus Katsina Alu, because if he didn't support him, Katsina Alu would not recommend him to replace him, to succeed him as a CGN, because that is the convention. The outgoing CGN, we know that the most senior will take the place, but he must be recommended. So if he doesn't recommend him because he thinks, oh, he's a corrupt person, he will never get it. So the man decided to follow his heart. And in following his heart, he ditched the Ilorin man, accused the Ilorin man of lying under oath. So, but in the end,
today now,
the Ilorin man is vindicated. The people who put him to shame, they are somewhere. People who lied against him, they are somewhere now, just keeping quiet and expecting the certain harsh judgment of history. While Salami goes on with his life and is being entrusted with fresh responsibilities to help us cleanse our thoroughly dirty judiciary of the people who have put the judiciary where it ought not to be. What are we talking about? Within 3 weeks in Kenya, the petition, the electoral petition in respect of the presidential election was heard and judgment was given. Can we ever deliver justice?
And it was turned against the government
against
of
the
the
president
day.
against the government of the day. During Obasanjo's time, very few judges could give judgment against him. Very few judges.
Courageous enough.
Yes, very few judges.
That's when you're looking at the rots in this sector, and now this NGO is asking for a state of emergency to be declared, do you think this is necessary?
Well, it's very necessary. And I think it ought to have been done long before now. Like Vajide said, the Ayo Salami incident, the eventual outcome was enough reason for Nigerians and Nigeria, as well as the authorities, to know that something drastic needed to be done about the judicial sector. It was alleged by the head of the sector then. It was witnessed against by the most senior afterwards. It was suspended. Now, barely 3 months after that, the same system that suspended him wanted him back. That's a vindication that something terrible was actually happening within the system at that time. But nothing was done. So Salami never made it back. We soldiered on. Then the EFCC came, started arresting judges, raiding the home of justices. And rather than put our weight behind the EFCC, although I will keep saying it that EFCC's floppiness made our case very difficult.
From they discovered that their homes were like a Burundi church. Or sort of
judges and justices were discovered to have turned to Burundi change. They are decided, like he said, they are senior bribe givers of Nigeria. They are equally senior bribe takers of Nigeria. And while all this were happening, we had a good chance with the raids to get to the bottom of this thing. But somehow, we bungled it again. However, if the NJC today is now coming out to say we need to do something, then what question are we again asking? Whether there is need for a state of emergency. Can or should we allow the judges now, via the NJC, to be the judges in their own case? Can they sincerely and truthfully clean the audience table? Are you sure that at the end of the day, if we go along with this their committee ceremony, it will not be a patch me, I patch you scenario that will give birth to no serious change? Can they sincerely purge themselves of what has become part of them, what has become serious cankerworm?
All right.
Deep.
Barry, let us quickly take this breather. When we come back, we'll discuss more. It's still Journalist Hangout. We'll be right after this break. Please stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Journalist Hangout, and we're reaching you live from Television Continental here in Lagos, Nigeria, and we are looking at the judiciary. And Judy, when you look at the cases we've had, they say justice delayed is justice denied. We've seen a particular judge that was accused of not even taking adjourning a particular case till the tenure of a lawmaker.
That's Justice Ophili Ajumogobia. If a case is brought before you and you know that
this thing
is time bound, and you deliberately continue to adjourn until the tenure, because it's an election matter. It's an election matter. And you waited until the person whom they were trying to unseat completely served out his term.
Benefited all the perks.
Yes, before you now gave judgment. Justice has not been served. It's a very cruel and very wicked way of delivering justice. You wait until the end of that term before you now give judgment. I don't know how judges in Nigeria will face their maker. I don't know how. Because even to themselves, to fellow judges, they can be extremely cruel. We talk about the judiciary. I'm not surprised those guys are calling for an emergency to be declared in the judiciary. There are cases filed before the Supreme Court 10 years ago that, as we speak, have not been assigned. 10 years. 10 years. You can't assign a case. 10 years, and they say justice delayed, the justice denied. In some cases, the people concerned will die. Yeah. And that's the end of the matter. 10 years, you can't assign
land matters.
You can't assign
they spend as much as 20, 30 years land.
The registrars of our appeal courts, I can't even describe them. These are people who have completely refused to even embrace technology. Completely, they are extremely slow. They are studying in utter chaos. That's why you file a case in court, you are just waiting and waiting and waiting. Judgment will not come in good time. Lawyers pay through their noses just to secure certified true copies of judgments of rulings. To have cases assigned, you must pay through your nose. So what kind of system do we have? I do not even have, even the NJC itself. I subscribe to what Justice Alami said sometime in 2015, that the NJC shouldn't be headed by the CJN, the current CJN. The NJC should be headed by maybe a retired president of the Court of Appeal or a retired CJN. The person who heads the sector shouldn't be the one heading that CJN,
like
because
as we have seen, commission headed by Inspector General Police, current IG. Would that be effective?
No,
but the way they have it,
that's not what we have. That's not what we have with the police. You have the Police Service Commission headed by a retired
IG.
That is what we should have in the NJC. The NJC itself, they need to look at the NJC and purge it, because some of the people there, some of the lawyers that they put there, some of the judges that they put there are worse than the people that they are putting on trial. So you have, when you have a CJN that is compromised, for example, he will use his influence, his power, his capacity to appoint. He will use it to ensure that these people do his bidding. At the end of the day, you won't find justice. Look at the irresponsible woman who beat up a little girl in Uganda. In no time, justice was served. They jailed the woman because that matter put Uganda to shame. So they delivered justice in good time. And Nigerians read in the papers that, look, that girl had been jailed. The government was eager to let the world know that, yes this happened in our country, we will deliver judgment. Okay. That is an example of a place where justice, the judiciary is efficient.
All right, Obina is calling us from Plateau State. Oh, we lost Obina. Dari, when you now look, after the raid of these judges and everything, it's as if this present CJN, it's as if he's, what he has been doing, the kind of reforms he has been putting in place, and the kind of people that you were calling up to work with, you will know that I think he's ready to work and is ready to fight, stamp out corruption in the judiciary.
Well, he has been a part of the system for so long. You understand what has been happening there. And coming to be the CJN, he's human. And I'm sure on being appointed, he must have sat down to take a decision. Where do I want to belong? How do I want to be remembered?
To make a name.
Is he on the side of the people or on the side of the usual, as it should be done or as it is done? So if he sat down and he looked at what has been happening, and he's now taking, I've taken time to look at his efforts. I think he's moving in the direction of a reformist. He's working very hard.
Some people spent very short time there. The people like Justice Aloma Mukhtar.
And they made impact. So if what we are seeing now is the product of allowing the system to purge itself over time. Now, a new king has come to the throne. He has an assignment to make or to man. In making the judicial sector in this country, he must first pull down. Those who have been there, it's not all of them that really lack the desire, but they lack the will. Because in making, you must pull down. Now, a committee has been set up. 2 judges are going to be tried. They may be found guilty. They will go down if that happens. Okay.
Let me quickly take Joshua is calling us from Oyo. Joshua from Oyo. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Yeah, I'm Joshua from Oyo.
All right, go ahead with your contribution.
Yeah, what you are discussing presently, sir. In fact, I and my family were victims of that very incident. I cannot explain much to you online now. Though I would like, please, I would just like that daddy, Mr. Babajide Osikoju, maybe to pin my number down. If he can call me, I will call. I can spend 3 hours to talk to him on the issue. I have my money to talk to him.
Okay,
I will.
My producer will take your number. It's not going to be good for you if you give your number on air now. My producer will take the number, fade out your audio, take your number, and Babajide will get back to you. You can be rest assured. If you give your number on air now, you won't like it. So my producer will get your number and Jide will get across to you so that you can tell him whatever you want. Babajide, a judge was said to have collected 200,000 naira from Zamfara State. I was reading the story. I couldn't just read beyond the first paragraph because it's so ridiculous.
There are all kinds of people, who are judges today. You see,
200,000.
Corruption is the product of a failed system. The Nigerian judiciary is a failed system, no doubt about it. The manner in which judges even get into the system, they have to look at it. There are some people who will not be better than Sharia court judges. They don't have knowledge, they are ignorant. They are supposed to just be Sharia court judges. But they rise on to become high court judges as a consequence of the defective system that we have at this time. Now, what do you expect from such people? They are the kind of judges that lawyers will write judgments for, because lawyers write judgments for judges in today's Nigeria. Because they won't even know how to adjudicate on these matters. So when you have people who are incompetent, you have mediocrities occupying the bench, what can only result is unwholesome conduct, and a manifestation of unwholesome conduct is corruption. So all kinds of people, it was last year that a judge was involved in 419. Remember that judge, the one who positioned a woman to stand by a jeep and claimed that the person standing by the jeep was the chief judge of Nigeria. A whole judge from a state in northern Nigeria used force means to extort 200,000 naira from a litigant. In today's Nigeria, judges doing 419, and those are the kind of people that you want to go before and you expect that you will get justice.
I have this call from Peter. Peter is calling from Delta State. Thank you for joining us, Peter.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, go ahead with your contribution.
Yeah, good evening to the gentlemen in the studio.
Good evening, Peter.
Good evening, Babajide.
Good evening, my brother.
Yes, thank you very much. I am very, very excited that currently a lot of attention is being given to the judiciary in Nigeria. And whatever effort the current government is making to sanitize that particular arm of government is very much appreciated because the judiciary thinks, and you and I know that. I can recount personal experiences, encounters I've had with different judicial officers in the past that didn't turn out well. So it's a pain in everybody's heart. Justice is being delayed the way it is done currently. So whatever effort the current government is making is appreciated, and we are in support of whatever they are doing for now.
Okay, thank you, Peter. Coming up on Journalist Hangout, former First Lady Dame Patient Jonathan alleges victimization by the EFCC. Details shortly. Stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Journalist Hangout. The former First Lady, that is Dame Patient Jonathan, is crying foul. She has accused the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission of plotting to destroy her family. She has also accused the FCC boss Ibrahim Mustapha Magu of bias and intimidation, lamenting that Magu has been spreading falsehood and propaganda against her in the name of investigations. She wants President Muhammadu Buhari to call Magu to order. In recent times, Mrs. Jonathan has been under the radar of the Anti-Graft Agency for allegations of fraud and money laundering. In April, a Lagos High Court ordered the temporary forfeiture of $5.8 million and 2.4 billion in her account. That's billion naira in her account. Several properties in Nigeria and abroad have been linked to her. And recently, Magu confirmed that the commission is investigating another $15 million traced to accounts belonging to Mrs. Jonathan. Gentlemen, I don't know of if there's any formal agreements not to touch the wife or a former president in Nigeria, but I've never seen it, especially for former presidents. There's always this esprit de corps, something, when somebody takes from you, when, what's the name, Abdulsalami Abubakar left the stage and Olusegun Obasanjo turned his other eyes as if nothing happened, but we know what transpired to our foreign reserve and everything. But definitely, but the one of Mrs. Jonathan is something that's, EFCC, they've been on that case for some time. There was a particular time that a driver and housemaid was said to have had so amount in the account. EFCC had to investigate. It was traced to Madam's account, and the thing is getting messier.
I think that the former president's wife should busy herself with how to get herself cleansed of the allegations that have been brought against her. For example, I'm sure patients will agree with me that opening an account in other people's names and keeping their ATM is against the laws of our land.
And when you have amounts like $15 million,
that's what happened. You see, the 15 million naira could be her money, because as a president's wife, governors will come, give you money. Yes. That one will come, give you money. So when people want to see your husband, they will pass through you, give you money. I'm not.
You run projects, you run everything.
Yes, the way she will be thinking, well, I did not steal government money. But if you kept that kind of money somewhere and you you open the account in other people's names,
housemates,
whatever they do to you, I don't think you have any valid grounds. I don't think you have any valid ground, because you have no right in the first place. You have no right in the first place to open an account using other people's names and taking their ATMs
so
and keeping it so that
it's
you, who can run the account. And it speaks to the problem of bank workers conniving with big people, powerful people in Nigeria to steal from the rest of us. I'm not saying that that money
Was stolen.
is a product of money laundering. It is for the FCC to prove that. And I believe that for someone in that position, she can actually receive gifts. She can receive gifts from visiting presidents. She can receive gifts from all kinds of people that will amount. 15 million is not a lot of money if you are the president's wife. But you must come
$15 million.
Yes, it's not a lot of money to anyone at that level, except we are deceiving ourselves or we are not exposed enough to know how things run. You know, because if an Akpabio will visit President Jonathan, for example, and he sees patients standing there, only God knows what Akpabio
during those days, during those days, the allocation was coming in 30 billion, 25.
There was a time that Akwa Ibom got in excess of 40 billion.
As allocation.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was a time. What are we talking about? It can give.
After allocation, excess good.
He can give. He gives as it pleases him, and he boasts about giving. That what money cannot do, more money will do. That, you see, so that kind of person, and he belonged to that era. He could give you. He alone could give him even that money. You understand? But you must come clean. The money belongs to you. If you want to keep it in a bank, you cannot. Keep it in your own account, so that when anybody raises issues, you can defend it. That is your money. This money is not a product of money laundering. It's my money. This and that. But you don't want eyes to be looking in your direction. You now got some little boys and open account in their names, whereas it's your own account. That one already has infringed against banking laws. So if, as a result of that, they are now investigating him for other infractions, I don't think there's anything wrong in that. If the EFCC is saying that the EFCC saw the local content office of the NNPC in Agua and claimed that it is his own, they saw ShopRite, they claimed that it's his own. Let the EFCC call even a public toilet your building. It is for you to prove when that time comes that, look, it does not belong to me. He said there's a senator who is his neighbor, that even the home of that senator, that they are saying it belongs to her. That every building that is fine, they will say it is special. And she's saying that his own, that her own husband did not treat Aisha like that, and that Trump has not been treating
Obama's wife
like that. So you see the way. So it becomes even ridiculous that they are even going as far as
I don't think they will meet $15 million in any Michelle Obama's account. I don't think so. No. Because their salary is a public document, knowledge. So when you look at this and what EFCC, do you think EFCC is in any witch hunting mission? Since they got wind of this money, and EFCC will see, they will just show one luxurious hotel in Abuja. They will say this, Port Harcourt, this belongs to President Jonathan ever since the beginning of this case. She actually said they've been spreading falsehood and propaganda against her in the name of investigations.
Well, if I am to go by Madam President Jonathan's current claims, I think I need to either go back to school to get the meaning of witch hunting, or probably buy a new dictionary. Maybe they've just, published some. I don't see any issue of witch hunting here. Why they said 15 million is not too much for people at that level? Well, assuming without considering that is a possibility. Last year, it was first $40 million traced to this same woman by EFCC. She did not deny ownership. She claimed it was her money, and she even went to court to ensure that the account was defreezed. Towards the end of the same last year, 30.1 billion naira traced to the same woman. She didn't deny ownership again. She said it belongs to her late mother, Madam Oba, the late Madam Oba. And we all know Patient's mother. And she lived long enough for some of us to know her. We may not know her personally, but we saw her. So, in the mode of somebody who owns so much to bequeath that much after a restful and peaceful demise.
Which was a big industrialist.
Well, I have not said it's a lie. She didn't deny. And don't forget that this is a family that won the hearts of Nigerians by telling us that the head of that family had no shoes.
In 2011.
In 2011. He had no shoes while he was growing up.
That's growing up now.
Growing up, but don't also
might not
forget.
have married Patience that
No,
time.
no, no,
now.
we've listened to the story of that family over and over again.
When you are in government and one day
you become a millionaire. That's exactly where I'm coming to. They got
even
into the presidency.
stealing, you can
That's exactly. That's where I'm coming. They got into the presidency. They got into the presidency.
Yeah.
Made money. Now you wanted to keep that money. She has mentioned Obama's wife. She has mentioned several other first ladies within and outside. The question is, did EFCC claim to have found anything against them and did not pursue the action further? I know of one, Abacha's wife. Till today, that family is still being hunted to still bring part of what is in their possession. So if we did it to Abacha, and if she has been found to have pocketed some money, legally or illegally, and she is now being questioned, I think the appropriate thing to do is get a good lawyer, go to court, defend this huge amount of monies, and take them home to spend.
I think my friend Michael Zekome is on it.
I think that.
Well, so if you have somebody like Michael
The conqueror of EFCC.
he has been boasting.
They have to, if you cannot prove that the money is product of money laundering, they will give it back to him. It happened to.
You have to do it. Yes.
Even Michael Zekome.
And that's my fear for Yakubu too.
Abdulaziz and Yakubu.
The money was returned.
EFCC lost the
The senator in
You
Adamawa.
must prove. It's not that once you see money in someone's account,
It's now
you
fraud.
go to court. No, you must prove that that money is product of money laundering.
And
Remotely.
And the man, the Abdulaziz, said is that the proceeds of his dad's farming business.
And they are
are
very
usually kept.
And he's a famous farmer.
It was known to be, and that's my fear for EFCC
Even before he became
in all this.
He was
Ayo.
president of Farmers Council.
Yeah, this is my fear for EFCC in all this. If you now, yes, you have traced money to her account. The idea of she owns this, she owns that. In Senate crimes, you don't go to public with information until they have become useful for you during prosecution. Verified and used to prosecute. After prosecuting and getting justice, you could now tell us how you did it. But putting the cart before the horse. I'm even
tired of reading.
It has become a daily thing.
Belongs to this person.
You don't need all that.
Go to court.
Go and convict this woman.
And even some of our colleagues who are not helping matters.
Well,
sometimes they just
sensationalize.
Yes,
sensationalize.
I just watch. Look at what we've been reading that Dangote has been given 10 years
look at the embarrassment.
tax exemption and all that.
To do a proper road.
Now the man is saying nothing like that happened. And many Nigerians will have believed. This was the same way they told us that a former Air Force general kept money in Sokewe pit. That's Sokewe pit story.
They've not been able
to
say
no,
they are still
you have some Nigerians when they are talking, they will say, "Oh,
that's how they keep money."
That's how somebody kept money in the Sokewe.
And they've not been able to evacuate
nothing like that
up to today.
Magu himself came out to say it is not true.
So where did he emanate from?
All right. Let's take a quick break. And, I think we don't have to go for that break. The United Nations, that is a report by the United Nations Youth Employment Rate at 42%. It said it has paved the way for poverty. They're trying to say crime, terrorism.
They are linked together.
They are linked together. That if we are saying that unemployment, if they are able to look at it as a kind of nexus, that are connecting it, that unemployment and crime, that's kind of connected. I think our program last week, we said something like that, Babajide.
When we were discussing kidnapping, we said that, look, a lot of these kidnappers are graduates, and that's why the art of kidnapping has even become sophisticated.
And well arranged.
Yes.
The people that kidnapped Ozekome,
they plan it
the
very well,
and
they speak excellent English, they will do everything possible to succeed. I think, no doubt about it, people coming, it's just like Yahoo, these Yahoo boys.
Yeah.
A lot of them are university graduates, even students in schools. I know some schools.
Yeah, the headquarters.
Some schools where you have ample quantity of Yahoo boys.
Yahoo boys.
You know? Students, they are still in school, they are doing it, they are making money off it. Now, if they leave school, won't they continue with it?
Straight.
For some of them, they will not even want to look for
employment.
paid
How much are they going to pay them?
Now put your mind, now look at people who on their own would naturally want to be gainfully employed. But there are no jobs. It is estimated that more than 44 million Nigerians are unemployed.
44 million.
44 million. Who are
I'm sure that these are youths.
Employable age.
They are youths.
They are
productive
unemployed. So since they are not employed, they must survive. A lot of the women have taken to runs. They call it runs.
Prostitution.
Glorified
Glorified prostitution.
Just giving it
just
another name to deodorize it.
University students,
They
undergraduates.
call it runs. And then they go and sleep with your parents, age mates, and all that, and collect money. Yes. In the process, they die. So the men amongst them, amongst the undergraduates, they take to kidnapping, they will take to Yahoo, they will take to even murder, even paid
killing.
Okay, let me quickly take this break. When we come back, we're still on this subject matter. Stay with us. Welcome back. So the Nigerian Labour Congress, however, believes that this trend can be reversed if the federal government leverages on its promises to tackle unemployment, increase welfare packages for workers. Is the federal government aggressive enough in tackling this problem? Because, Dari, if GD is saying 44 million, 44 million Nigerians, that means you can be rest assured that there might be up to 60 to 65 million. That is, putting it, unemployed graduates, they are littered all over the place. And there's nexus between this and crime.
There's no exaggeration in the figures. I saw something on Facebook. I belong to a Facebook group. It's an international Facebook group. And somebody, I'm not sure if he's a Nigerian or an outsider, posted something. He said, if you are looking for millionaires that have no job, come to Nigeria. I just saw it yesterday. You're looking for millionaires without jobs, come to Nigeria. People begin to discuss, and he said, it's only in Nigeria you find young chaps of university age riding cars and boastfully telling people they are into Yahoo.
Yes, Kinshasa low.
And that they are doing, they are shashe, and they are this. And you see, if this is happening, if this is happening while they are in school, the only way to successfully cleanse them of their criminality is to ensure that they have jobs, lucrative jobs now. A guy who will get $1 million in a jiffy, say you should come and
honestly,
take a job of,
they prosecute big jobs. They have cartel.
How much is
100,000, 200,000.
8,500.
They can't even get it.
You see, we will be deceiving ourselves. Lucrative jobs. It will take real lucrative jobs to get those guys off what they are doing. Meaning, that scenario has added to the problem of unemployment. We now have people who will be choosy of the jobs they take, even after graduating.
No, even most times when banks and other big companies
are recruiting,
you will find that is people, the bulk of the people coming in are people who want to change jobs.
Not those who are searching for jobs.
Yeah, not those who are
because they will require experience.
Okay, now you will see a advertisement for job. You say 5 years experience. Somebody left school since 2012. He's been at home, jobless, and you're asking for so where will he get the experience? So you discover that sincerely it is a huge problem. And if the NLC is now saying it behoves on the government to create more jobs, while adding to the take homes of those who are working, well, I agree. It is the duty of governance. Part of governance is to create jobs. However, we have been watching for years why the private sector collapses. Every day you hear of people being retrenched. Meaning, there was a day I saw one bank, I won't mention, retrenched 77. The next day, another one retrenched 170 something. If government had, on a daily basis, been creating 100 jobs, it will be taken up by those who have been retrenched. Or, while new ones get the jobs, fresh people will become unemployed due to what is happening in the private sector. We are not thinking of creating environments that can make...
There are no jobs anyway.
No jobs.
Trump, as much as Nigerians open their mouths to abuse Trump, Trump is creating jobs in the U.S.
He's creating jobs in the U.S.
Creating jobs in the US.
We need to create jobs, not just wait.
Yes.
We shouldn't wait.
And your own leaders, you are getting yourself, you are working yourself up about the president.
Yeah, abusing Trump every day.
And there are people are not doing anything.
Creating jobs in this country.
Look at what Trump.
Look at the read at the UN.
Look at what
the progress being made in this country.
Look at what Trump is even doing. He's bringing in the private sector experience to turn around something. Some jobs are being created, and I read that people are asking whether these are establishment jobs or private jobs. In consonance with government, a lot of things are springing up, and we are not doing that yet.
Unemployment rate is going down
in the US, it's going down
consistently.
But we are here.
Month on month, it is going down. We are abusing Trump.
Jide, but the government, they are talking about Empower Project, they are talking about teachers, this scheme, something. But at the end of the day, they are talking about even feeding, getting this school feeding exercise to absorb people and everything.
That one is also creating jobs for cooks, for farmers and all that.
But we know that the deficits met by this administration to service it is going to be very, it will take a deliberate effort.
You see, one thing, if government should make agriculture attractive to our young people, you go to a place like Benue, the farming population is aging. Young people don't want to get involved in farming anymore. They would rather be political thugs to politicians. If they are not political thugs, they are riding Okada. You see even Nigerians who learn one trade or the other, they will prefer to ride Okada and leave people from Benin Republic, people from Togo to come and be the one.
Yes, if you are building, yes, if you are doing finishing now,
they bring house
yes,
and
they bring Kuton from abroad. Yes, they don't use Nigerians.
If it continues like that, it will be difficult for us to find skilled labor in areas where we truly need skilled labor. Other people will come and take over jobs that our people should be doing. So
that's what is happening.
So we have to be careful. We have to be careful. I believe that farming, the way farming is going, what the government is doing in agriculture is huge. Now they must kind of make agriculture look corporate, look attractive to these young people.
Mechanized farming.
And they pay, even when they adopt mechanized farming, they should pay these young people well. Let them realize that there's so much to make. If you go to Maiduguri, because virtually every state of the north is fertile, you go to those places and you take to farming, you won't believe the yield, the money that you make. There are a few people that I know who are making. In fact, one bought a jeep from the produce from his farm
1 year
in Yobe State. So we need to make, because agriculture still remains the #1 employer of labor. So if we can get people, the young people, to take to farming, we will be able to reduce drastically the number of the unemployed. But are these people going to agree to take to farming? It will take serious effort on the part of government to get young people who are even rejecting white collar jobs to take to.
They are going to Malaysia. They are going to Ghana, where they can pick money, pick their Yahoo money with ease. That's now the destination. It's so unfortunate. So fortunate. That's where we touched down on today's edition of Journalist Hangout. I want to thank you, Dari Odufoko, thank you. And you can also watch the repeat broadcast tonight on TSTV 418, GoTV 45, and all our other platforms, as you can see on the screen. You can also watch Journalist Hangout on YouTube. That's youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. Our feedback channel is Journalist Hangout at tvcnews.tv. I'm Ayodele Ozubahu. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.